Welcome back, guys. Thank you for coming back to our YouTube channel. It's you that makes our channel work, so thank you for putting your time in. We really do appreciate you. Now, today we've got a really good informative video about one of our most well-known vitamins, but I guarantee that our guest speaker, who is just a copious mind of knowledge, Karen Crichton here, I'll let her introduce herself in a moment, is going to be telling you some stuff about this vitamin that you didn't even know existed. So do keep your eyes and ears on this video until the end. We'll keep it short and sharp for you, but it's action-packed full of information. In the meantime, a quick introduction. I'm Stephanie Hunter from Hamilton, New Zealand. My gorgeous friend by here in New Zealand, Karen Crichton. How are we, Karen?
I'm great, thank you. And thank you very much for that introduction. And I don't really need to tell you anything more about me, apart from that I have mine of sometimes useful and sometimes useless information, and I try and impart it as much as I possibly can. And as Stephanie knows, I can talk the hind legs off a donkey, and so I'm really trying to rein myself in to relevant information. So apologies if I waffle on too much, but I'm just trying to give you the most concise information so that you can go away and do your own research, because that's the important thing.
Oh, I love it, Karen. You're far too modest. But we'll get on with our discussion for today. And we're going to be discussing the very, very ultra important vitamin D. So, Karen, would you like to take it away?
Okay, so as you probably know, vitamin D is essential for your overall health. And making sure you get enough is paramount to your whole well-being. So before you get started, it's important to know that there are two different types of vitamin D, vitamin D3 and D2. However, let's just backtrack a bit. Vitamin D3 is also known by its other alias, I can never pronounce this, is cholecalciferol. It's probably completely not that way, but it's vitamin D, its natural form. It's the kind produced in your body as it absorbs sunlight. And so recent studies, however, are beginning to show that vitamin D2 may be as effective as D3. Okay, whichever form of vitamin D you choose to take, make sure you get enough so you can enjoy really healthy teeth and bones, and also protecting yourself from disease. And this is nearly every disease process can be restrained by using vitamin D. So as you probably know, we absorb vitamin D through our skin just by exposing ourselves to the sun. But if you don't get enough sunlight, or if you're going out in the sun, but you're using an awful lot of soap products on your skin where you're exposed, you're going to not absorb it. So it's a really important thing. So I don't know if you know, but vitamin D3 is actually not a vitamin, but a pro-hormone. It's considered a pro-hormone because the body is able to produce it on its own by absorbing the sunlight on the skin. So that actual action is a pro-hormone. So basically that's what it means.
So you said that not to use too much soap products in your skin. Are you including sunscreen with that?
Absolutely. Anything that interferes with that absorption. So I'm not saying not to use sunscreen, although I would really say, really look at the ingredients on your sunscreen. But if you are using sunscreen, it's actually preventing you from absorbing the vitamin D. So what I get clients to do is to go out in the sun, say 20 minutes, being careful, of course you don't want to get burned, but going out in the sun for say 20 minutes and daily if you can. And that way you'll be exposing as much skin as you possibly can. And then when you have your shower or bath, don't use soap. You can use water, of course, but don't use soap because it's the soap that affects the absorption process. So it's a really important thing. So the body needs to store a healthy amount of vitamin D in order to absorb phosphorus. And we've talked about phosphorus, and also to be able to maintain normal levels of calcium. So we've already talked about those in other videos. And so it's really important, as I said, for healthy teeth and strong bones. Vitamin D also added protection to such disease such as cancer, multiple sclerosis, and type 1 diabetes. It also can help with type 2 diabetes management and help maintain healthy insulin levels. Vitamin D offers immune protection and also is really good for helping with the nervous system and the brain. And vitamin D is essential to the health of the lungs and the cardiovascular system. And also, as
Sorry, did you say health of the lungs?
I did, yes.
Wow, guys, did you hear that? Health of the lungs.
Yeah. And so being as the sort of big thing of late is the coronavirus, which attacks the lungs. Sunlight, exposure to sunlight really, really can help with that. Also, of course, you can supplement with vitamin D, but be careful where you get your supplement from. Most of the vitamin D supplements come from soy. And it's really, because it's a fat soluble vitamin, it's actually in the soya oil. Soy oil is a contraindication if you have any thyroid issues. And also, I personally wouldn't touch the stuff because I've done a lot of research on soy, and it's one of the highest allergens that we can get. So personally, if you can get a vitamin D product, if it doesn't say where it's come from, it's very likely to be soy. There are some practitioner products I know of that are sunflower, and they're organic sunflower, so there's no problem with that. But it's a really important component that you look into your supplement. If it doesn't say where that comes from, phone the company up and find out where that vitamin D comes from and what it is actually in. It's really important with this. So it's really interesting. Vitamin D, there's so many studies been done on it for colon cancer and also prostate, breast cancer, even pancreatic cancer. So it's a really, really exciting nutrient. And I think the thing is that it's very understated. And more and more people are starting to learn about it. But as we start learning about it as practitioners, and also I've been researching it for several years, but the more comes up, the more exciting it becomes. And the fact, really, without supplement, I mean, obviously, if it's in the deepest, darkest months of winter, where you're not getting any sunlight, to supplement's a good idea. But if you can, get out in that sunlight and make the most of the free nutrition that we've been gifted.
Fabulous. A couple of questions come to mind listening to you talk there, Karen. Let's go back to skin exposure to start with. Different parts of the world have different UV count in the sun, so do be aware of how long you stay in the sun. And you use your intelligence there and your intellect, but also the tone of your skin, Karen, the colour of your skin. The darker your skin, the longer exposure you need, guys, and the less likely you are to need as much sunscreen. Yes.
The thing with protection on the skin is the myelin, which is what makes us have darker or lighter, less myelin we have, the lighter our skin is. Not myelin, sorry, my brain's gone. But the lighter our skin is, us white folk, pale skin, freckles and that sort of stuff, we can't handle being out in the sun too much. So our body compensates that, so it uptakes the vitamin D faster.
Good to know, good to know. So bearing in mind, at least here in New Zealand, and I'm assuming Australia's the same, if not other countries, our children aren't permitted to go out of school for their interval breaks or lunch breaks without applying sunscreen now, regardless of the skin tone. So be conscious about that, guys. If your parents are young children who go to school, make a conscientious decision as to whether your son or daughter has to have sunscreen applied before they leave for their 15-minute interval. I'm not talking about lunchtime here, but I'm talking about the 15-minute interval. I myself have a child who's of African descent, and I put my foot down with the school and said, no, for the 2 morning intervals, so the morning interval and the afternoon interval, when he's only outside for 15 minutes, no sunscreen. He used to go out without sunscreen on. Lunchtime, totally different. It's an hour out in the sun. So when I brought that to the awareness of the school, who had over 75% of darker skinned children, they actually changed the principals of the school because they were unaware. So do be conscientious of that as well. That's my suggestion there. Now, question for you, Karen. Having lived in England, SAD, when people aren't getting, so SADs aren't getting sunlight during the winter months, and they sit in front of a UV box or some sort of tool like that. Is that vitamin D they're getting from that?
Oh, there's several different things. There is the light, I believe, that has a huge impact on, because a lot of people, I mean, from the UK, of course, during the winter months, it's very often you leave home in the dark You work inside and you come home in the dark. So you're actually not very often, unless if you go at lunchtime, and not many people do, especially when it's raining or whatever, is we're not getting any exposure. And so that's when supplementation is important.
Beautiful. So the UV boxes that I used to see people sit in front of when I lived in England helps them with what they're missing during the winter months, yeah?
Yes, and there are new like sunbeds where I believe, I haven't done the research on this because I had no intention of investing in one, is where you can absorb vitamin D, but of course it's never ever going to be as effective as this beautiful ball in the sky that we have.
As with most supplementations, the word gives you the clue, guys. The word is supplement. It should always supplement what you're doing naturally. It shouldn't replace what you're doing naturally. Absolutely. It's always a supplement. So if you can't get the good stuff, the real stuff, without supplementation, that's where supplementation steps in and helps you, but it should never replace the real stuff.
Yeah, and I just wanted to talk a bit about sunscreen, Steph, because a lot of sunscreens have got some very detrimental chemicals in. Even the Cancer Association ones, guys. So, word of warning. If you're going to use it, use jojoba oil, that's spelled jojoba, Jojoba, underneath your sunscreen. Why? Jojoba acts as a barrier, so you won't absorb that chemical into your skin.
Love it. So the sunscreen will still do its job that it was designed to do, aka stop the burning, but it won't absorb chemicals into your bloodstream. Yep. That is an amazing hint. Thank you, Karen. Beautiful tip. Guys, if you've got any further questions about vitamin D, or you'd like to just throw some thoughts around, put them down in the comments box below the video here. While you're there, make sure that you're subscribed and also hit the notification bell. When you tap on the notification bell, a drop-down menu will appear, and make sure the word all is highlighted so that you get all the tips and techniques that Karen and I develop for you and put into this YouTube. We treat you like a VIP, making sure that you always get connected to us. Now, also, keep an eye that notification bell stays on, because I don't know about anyone else, but I find that YouTube turns my notification bells off to my subscriptions constantly all the time. So if you haven't heard from us in a little while, pop back into the YouTube channel, make sure that the notification bell is on for you. And the last thing I'm going to ask you to do is share these videos out with people. Just above us here is a URL. Click on that URL, copy it, and send it off on your Facebook or your Twitter or your Instagram or your MeWe, whatever chat streams you use, and let people know about these videos, because they're all tidbits we all need to know about our basic health and how to maintain great health. And my pet subject is always prevention is the best cure. So if we can empower you to know what you need to know before you get unwell, before you get sick, then I'm doing my job. Karen, would you like to add anything?
No, you did that very succinctly. Thank you very much, Steph. And also, we don't want to go on anymore.
And with that, guys, be happy, be healthy, be wise, and above all else, be kind. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Thanks for watching.